Ben, very well done today. After that result and that performance, I guess it must be a pretty happy Manchester United dressing room.
Yeah, first of all, thank you. It was definitely important for us to win the game for the guys, just for in general environment. I mean, we were fighting till the end, trying to give everything in every single situation, and thankfully then we won the game in the end.
How much pressure was there on you going into this game?
Obviously, it's always a lot of pressure, especially in the club like this, but we always take it in a positive way, try to take it in the best ways possible. We did it, and we show once again that we can play well, we can win games, and it's just now important to continue like that.
How good a performance was it from United this afternoon?
Really good, and I'm just pleased to give them a bit of credit for once. You know, it's always, like we said at the beginning of the show today, is Groundhog Day. You know, keep criticising them for bad performances, but we're only saying what we see, and what we saw today was a very good performance from Manchester United. I don't think he will have to fend off any questions about his system today. The players...
So why did it work today? Did Sunderland help them to make it work, or was it just the player performance?
I mean, let's give them credit. It just worked. It worked today. They played more direct. That's the difference. Lammens makes his debut.
How did he look overall?
Fine. He's got a clean sheet. It's another positive for him on his debut.
Was he tested much? I mean, 3 shots on target from Sunderland overall.
Yeah, but he done everything. He took a few crosses. You know, when they're under a little bit of pressure, he'd come. He's a big guy. You know, he come and took the crosses. And his distribution was decent, but they never asked him to tippy-tappy around the penalty area and decide to be, you know, little stupid passes in around the area, to make a rod for his own back and put pressure on himself by making a mistake. They asked him to get the ball up the field to Sesko, and that's what they did. Sesko was the man of the match today. You know, he flicked things on, he took defenders under the ball, and the likes of Mason Mount and then Burma were just narrowing up off the sides. The width was coming from the wing backs, and they were giving him load of support. You know, he was holding the ball up, he was laying things off to Bruno Fernandes, who was breaking forward. Casemiro was just playing as a 6, just a little bit of protection. That's all they needed today, just that one in there. And they dominated from start to finish.
And put into context, listen, it was in a losing cause a week ago, but Sesko gets his first goal. He's got another one today. The opening 6 games didn't get a goal. He began to look about like that United shirt we talked about earlier, being in a way already heavy on his shoulders. These last 2 games, for him personally, have been massive, haven't they?
I think that Ruben's left him in the team, and that's absolutely what you have to do.
Get your confidence up.
He should have played him at home to Burnley, a newly promoted side. In that game, I thought he should have blooded him. It's difficult when you're playing like Man City, you know, when you're getting thrown in and it's, you know, hard to get in a kick of the ball, and then you're coming off the field, you know, and he's making changes and your confidence just gets drained.
BC and Peacock in just a moment as we welcome you back inside our studio. Stephen Warnock, Robbie Mustoe, I'm Rebecca Lowe. Well, Stephen, as I said, Manchester United needed straightforward, and they got that at last.
Yeah, they did. They didn't particularly start the game too well. Early on in the game, Sunderland had a couple of opportunities and didn't capitalise on them. And then they got the goal from Mason Mount, and it just changed the whole atmosphere, the whole sort of the way that Manchester United approached the game. Then they were positive, they were on the front foot. Sunderland changed their formation and went to 3 at the back and almost matched up Manchester United and looked a lot more comfortable, but the game was done. It's a positive result for Ruben Amorim, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, so good thing or bad thing it's international break now?
Probably bad. He'll want another game to continue that momentum, but then sometimes go away. There's a feel-good factor when you come back into the club off the back of a win. It's a nice feeling to have that. But you always want your players in and around you so you can continue to progress.
Robbie, you were watching Arsenal 2-0 against West Ham United today.
And I think that's the most important point, isn't it, Danny? They have to continue in this fashion.
Yeah, they've been here a few times, haven't they, where they've had a good result, everyone's feeling a bit better about themselves, and then they play the next one and struggle. Difficulty for them is the next game's at Anfield. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think it was a huge win for the manager, a huge win for the team in terms of taking the pressure off themselves. But it's going to be a difficult few weeks. They've got some tough fixtures coming up, but they've got to try and get some momentum now in the next few weeks so he can get that pressure off him that seems to build every time they have a bad result.
Yeah, and so much has been said, right, about the system that Ruben Amorim plays, and it doesn't fit the players, but it all seemed to have worked out well today.
Yeah, against Sunderland. Sunderland side has just come up, who, you know, obviously went to Man United thinking, let's frustrate them, see if we can hold them out. But in the end, you know, Man United, whatever we say about them, whatever we say about their system, they've got players who can conjure up. Yeah, they can hurt you. They can conjure up some quality. And, like, in that instance, we saw that, especially with that Mason Mount's goal. So, you know, Danny's right. You know, they go to Anfield next week or after the break, and then we'll see where we go from there with United.
OK, so big win for United and a big win for Arsenal as well. For now, and have a look at how events unfolded between Manchester United and Sunderland. Man United registering a 2-0 win. Mason Mount on the score sheet first, Glenn. This felt like a really significant victory for them.
Yeah, big one for the manager and the players. You know, they're at home as well. It's a tricky sort of game for them in many ways. He'll enjoy his glass of wine tonight, Andy, I've got to say, he really will, because this is a nice little finish. I think Mount's done really well since his injury. He's come back in. He's one of the shining lights for United at the moment. But it was such an important victory, and Sesko getting his first home game goal, you know, terrific for him. If he starts putting the ball in the back of net, it'd become a different story. But no, a great win for United, and what they've got to try and do now is obviously go back-to-back. They've got an international break, which is unfortunate for them.
Probably come at the wrong time for them now, seeing as they've picked up the momentum. Yeah. But in a way, at least it alleviates some of that pressure. Right, let's head straight back to Old Trafford.
Manchester United claimed their third straight Old Trafford triumph with a 2-0 win over Sunderland on Saturday, as Ruben Amorim celebrated his 50th match in charge with a crucial victory. Manchester United raced into the lead as Mason Mount clinically finished inside 10 minutes, and the Red Devils' onslaught continued for much of the half, with Robin Rose making several eye-catching saves until eventually being beaten again by Benjamin Sesko, giving Amorim's side a deserved 2-0 lead at the break. The Red Devils continued to dominate the second half yet struggled to truly test Rose, but a disciplined defensive display from the hosts ensured that Sen Lamans kept a clean sheet on his debut as Manchester United claimed all 3 points, extending their unbeaten record when taking the lead this season. Manchester United produced a significantly improved all-round performance today, appearing much more comfortable in possession, more threatening in attack and more formidable in defence. Ahmad and Diogo Dalot took up extremely wide positions for the Red Devils, stretching the Sunderland defence and allowing the likes of Brian Bumo, Mount and Bruno Fernandes to operate with freedom in the half spaces, while Sesko was used brilliantly as the target man. Several long balls were played into the striker, and Sesko was able to superbly use his large frame to hold the ball up and bounce passes off to other attackers to allow Man United to quickly get up the pitch. In defence, the Red Devils sat slightly deeper and were more willing to allow Sunderland possession rather than deploying the high-pressing system that has been seen so far from Amorim's side this term, which has often led to their two-man midfield being overwhelmed by opposition sides. The Black Cats lacked the quality to break through that deeper block, often resorting to hopeful crosses into the penalty area, which the likes of Matthijs de Ligt, Lena Euro and Lamans were often able to easily deal with. Sunderland did have a handful of well-worked chances, but a lack of composure and quality at the final moment allowed Man United to deal with the attack, leaving the Black Cats goalless for the third time on the road this term. Regis Labrise will at least learn from his initial choice to play with 4 defenders, as Sunderland were significantly stronger defensively following the introduction of Daniel Ballard for Simon Adingra in the first half, with Man United failing to score after the change to a 5-defender system.